Hello YouTube Vintage Radio Restorers. This is the next video in the series on this Addison Courthouse. Now, this actually is a small radio compared to others, especially some of the German tube stuff, AM, FM with shortwave that came a little bit later. Those really have a lot of components in them. What's hard on this one I find is it's a small area. And I have to say the initial build quality, the soldering, the wire routing and stuff was not that great on some. And I've seen this in the past. It really varies. When you've done, let's say, like a few of these over the years, I take pictures of them. I've been taking pictures of them since 2005, the ones I restored. Some were absolute disasters. It's a miracle they ever worked. And maybe that's why they were shelved. They didn't work that well. This one here has some just unbelievable soldering in it, these junction points. But I'll just show you some of my thinking and what I'm doing with this. The big capacitor, the main can capacitor on this one, is sort of a nasty capacitor to deal with. It has wires coming out of it rather than lugs. And I'll put it this way, I don't have a big budget on this stuff. I could buy a replica can to replace it. By the time I got it here, it'd be about $80. And besides, a lot of times, I don't know what it is about can caps, but even some of the newer ones don't last. Here's the thing. I use a terminal strip. I actually solder the terminal strip right to the chassis. Find an open area that has some space. That doesn't work on every radio. And on some stereo equipment that I do, I actually restuff the capacitor cans. It depends on the unit. Then what I actually start doing is I start where the AC cord comes in and start rebuilding the circuit from the power side in. So right here is the 35 Z5 rectifier tube. So that's the first part I'm rebuilding. There was a 33 ohm resistor that was basically charcoal. It was open, so I have a new 33 ohm flame-proof resistor there. And then this is the capacitor that's across the power line. Replace that one. Run a new wire to where it comes in on the 35 Z5. Sometimes, you see this schematic here? Sometimes it's hard to translate this into this. Because this is all lines, and it kind of makes sense. Yeah, I can follow this line through the heater string, etc., etc. Here's the very odd, no polarity markings here. The field coil of the speaker is actually, if you look at it, it's in the negative line, what we call the B minus, whereas the B plus is the common point. This is a little weird on these. You have to maintain that or it's just not going to work that well. Give you lots of light there. And you can see, like for instance on this, I've cleaned up this one. And I'm only a fifth of the way into the radio. There's what I've taken out of it so far and replaced. I will bet you, kind of hard to solder and talk. You know, sort of like playing the guitar and singing. I just can't do it. You get this kind of stuff, like this is a... Yeah, I'm going to need a bigger soldering iron to desolder that. It's not hot enough. The 25 watt. But basically, this here is the output tube. It's a 50L6. And so you've got B plus and screen voltage. This cap replaces this hunka-munka that's across it. So I'm going to work into this tube, eliminate this bad connection here, clean this up, re-terminate it, put the capacitor on it. There's a little network here. There's 3 resistors. You can't even see them. They're kind of hidden in the dark there. And basically, it's the network between the 12SQ7 and the 50L6. But basically, like, it's a plate to grid circuit. But because of the strange floating ground on this one, you end up with this 470K, 100K bridge here. And one thing I can tell you is I've left them in occasionally on my earlier restorations, and it causes weird things like volume going up and down as the radio warms up, that type of stuff. It's the resistors. So we basically have to desolder everything in all these pins, put in new resistors, new caps, move to the next stage. And this radio, as you go backwards to the point of the antenna, it actually gets easier to work on. So I just thought I'd give you an update on that one. I just want to show you. I don't know if I got the right line to the camera here. Here is the painted steel plate that holds the dial. And there's the restored dial. A little bit of electric tape on the side so you don't have glass on metal. Holds it in nicely. Restrung tuning mechanism, which I did in the previous video. So we're kind of looking good here. Oh, and I don't know if you can catch this. A little repair on the speaker. Thanks for watching and listening.